This is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna talk with Mike. Mike, we're gonna talk a little bit about Vistage, specifically, what was the process and what you were thinking when you joined Vistage this time?
I joined Vistage because I joined it before with my first company, and I was a member for 5 years. I knew the value of it then, and I know the value of it now. The reason I joined now is because when you're building a business and you have access to resources, information, unlike anything else, the amount of data coming out of Vistage is extremely powerful. And I believe that they say that more companies are successful once they're members, once they become a member, than any other company who's outside Vistage. So I don't know the exact numbers, but I can tell you that when I met Catherine, I knew that she had the experience, the organizational management, the corporate experience, the ability to bring people together, and it's all about the other members. The other members are important. You have to have members who are participating. They have to contribute to the process. Without that, then you don't have a Vistage group, and they all do in this particular group. So when you look at the size of the organization, how many members are belong to it, you start to see the value of what others see as well. Before I joined the first Vistage group, it was either join Harvard Business School or join Vistage, and I had a friend out of Boulder who said, you need to join Vistage, and so I did, and never looked back.
When you consider joining Vistage, there are many that have a challenge getting past the monthly fee or membership for being in Vistage. What would you say to that person that's pushing back on the fee for joining and being?
Well, I think the fee has to be considered the amount of money willing to invest in the value they get out of it in return. So whatever you put forth in terms of the commitment, then you expect to get equal or greater in return.
So a good investment in your business. And so, you've been a member of Catherine's Vistage group for how long now?
Oh, it's been the last 3 months,
Okay.
I believe. So I'm relatively new,
okay.
But I think the time is right.
So for you, key takeaways over that 3-month period, what would you say the difference from when you joined it to now would be?
The Vistage has become much more sophisticated and mature and grown in terms of the amount of data that they provide. You didn't have that access before. The network was relatively small. Today it's quite large. The quality of speakers are important in the past, and then they are today. The speakers that we had come in were some of the top professionals in the country and the world that would speak to us. And this is what Vistage continues to maintain, is bringing in speakers to the group that relate to the needs of the group. And the group says, okay, we want to talk about the problems with operations or customer relations or things like that. Those are addressed through data, information, or through speakers that come in.
To wrap up the question, for that person that's on the fence trying to decide how they want to grow their business and Vistage is on their mind, what would you advise them?
I would say a couple things. One, Vistage is not a networking group. It's really a group to excel and grow a business. So if you're going to go to join the network within the group, it won't work. It's about the relationships of other large corporations coming together and speaking on behalf of their needs. So that's, I think, the greatest value. There's other groups out there that it doesn't even come close to managing or meeting the expectations of growing a company.
Well, Mike, I really appreciate your insights and wisdom.
Thanks,
and
Bob.
Thanks for sharing.
You bet. What?
Nothing. I was like,